Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Today we're going to be talking about politics. I'm going to be answering your questions. Thank you so much for sending them to me. Before I grab your questions, which I'm doing right now, I just want to tell you guys two things. One is I have a class coming up on March 1st, I think. The information will be in the description on your soul's destiny. This is a good time, you guys, to work on you. I can tell you my spirit guides have been telling me every day, work on you. Work on you. You are the most important thing to work on right now. Meditate, do puzzles, distract yourself, learn things. I have been doing so many things, right? So the other thing that I've done is I have, so you can learn more about the class. I'm teaching it with Afefe Tyehimba, who is Touched by Tarot here on YouTube. She's an amazing tarot reader. She's does politics as well as other spiritual things. So please check out her channel, Touched by Tarot. We have taught thousands of students together, so we really know how to put a good class together. It's $37. It's 2 hours long, and it's going to help you learn what your soul's destiny is. Why are you here at this time? I think it's a pretty good question. I think it's a question we all want to know the answer to. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you is thank you, because I have an online community with 800 people in it, or it did have 800 people in it, but because of you guys, there's over 1,000 people in my online community. And one of the things the spirit guides have had me busy doing is bringing in or just expanding the offerings on my online community, which is already a lot. This community is like, if you can imagine, sort of a cross between Facebook, Twitter, Threads. It's all those things, but it's my community. It's not owned by Meta or anybody else. And you can post, you can chat, you can put videos, you can put articles, you can put pictures. It is your community. There's over 1,000 of you there supporting each other every single day. There's a political side. There's a spiritual side. I am there. As a matter of fact, tonight I'm doing readings for my members. I am there twice a month doing events with my members, but I also just announced a guest speaker series. So I have people that you've seen on YouTube to talk about astrology, tarot, energy, crystals. They're coming on my membership and giving guest speakerships or guest presentations for you, right? For my members. So that's $12 a month. It's not a lot of money. $12 a month. You can join 1 month and cancel if you don't like it, or you can rejoin or whatever you want to do. It's there for you. But I want to thank you because it has grown quite a bit. And I really hope that it's there for you. And that's what I'm saying. I've been pouring into myself. What do I need to do for me to make me more powerful, to make me live my soul path more genuinely? I'm not going to let these idiots ruin my life. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to let them ruin my life. Don't let them ruin your life. Don't let them. Okay, let's move on to your questions. Again, all the information is down in the description below. Woo! Let's see what your questions are here to say. Right. The first thing I want to say, almost every single one of you have the same question, which is, will our democracy survive? Yes, it will. This is happening for a reason, because when you don't know what you have, you don't miss it until it goes away. That's what the spirit guides told me today. You don't miss what you have until you no longer have it. So in this way, we're getting an opportunity to wake up and say, wait a minute, we really want this or that. Now, you might be saying, Susan, I already knew that, and I've been very active, and I do all the things, and it's not my fault. And I would agree with you, it's not my fault either. But I would also say that I'm still learning the lesson, and you are too, because on my level, I'm learning discernment, that maybe some of these Democrats didn't really represent me the way I wanted them to represent me. So I might change my mind towards those Democrats. So that's part of my lesson. Other people's lessons might be, well, politics doesn't matter, the government doesn't matter, they're all the same, it doesn't matter. Those people are going to wake up and go, wait a minute, what do you mean I can't drink the water? Or wait a minute, what do you mean 911 doesn't work? Or wait a minute, why don't I get this tax break? I always get a tax break. Or wait a minute, what about this thing that I always count on? Well, guess what? It's from the government, and you never knew that, but now you do know that, and now you can say to your people, I want it. I want it back. I didn't realize that the government was providing this, and I want it back. That's democracy in action. What we're actually seeing is democracy in action, because it's threatened. We can now say, no, wait, we really want that. Okay, so I don't see democracy disappearing. I don't see us losing it. I see things being broken or taken away, so we can say, wait, no, give it back. Now, I don't see Social Security being taken away from us. I do not see that. They're not that stupid. You wouldn't walk up to a wasp nest and smack it with a 2x4. Not even the dumbest people like 45, Musk, or Vance would do that. They're not that stupid. Okay? So instead, they'll eat around the edges of everything. They'll take away CHIP. They'll take away some other programs that are really aimed towards the most vulnerable, the edges of society. That's who they're going to pick at. They might take away things for blind people, or they might take away, I don't know, but they're going to pick away little things around the edges. They're not going to take away Social Security. They're not going to take away Medicare. They might interrupt your check to test, to see just how angry everybody would be. And they're going to find out just how angry everybody would be. I don't see them doing that. They're not going to do that. We really shouldn't forget that there are hundreds of millions of us. There's so many millions of us, way more than them. And they would be very sorry if they woke all of us up and made us mad. And even if you're doing well, you probably have a grandparent on Social Security. Or if you're doing really well, you probably have some worker somewhere that's getting something from Social Security. It's just, that is the third rail. I don't see them doing anything with Social Security. They're going to do some horrific things, because we need to wake up and see, do we really care about dreamers having a path to citizenship? Do we really care about this? Do we really care about that? Yeah, you're saying, yes, Susan, I do care, and I've done all the things, but we're not talking to you. They're not talking to me. They're talking to those 90,000 people that didn't vote. We're talking to those people. Those are the people who are going to have their chance to perform within the democracy, to have democracy in action. Okay, so that's what I see. So let's move on. I don't know, Donna, I think Donna says, will Trump and his cabal ever be held accountable? Well, 45, I kind of feel like he either exits stage left because he's 25th Amendment, because, okay, so right. So Musk and him are useful idiots. That's all they are. They're pawns. Did I say pawn? They're they're pawns. Yes, I got it right. They're pawns. So once they're no longer useful, they will be gotten rid of. And what I see with EM is that he's being allowed to do all the criming, all the law breaking, allegedly. And when they're done with him, they'll have him arrested. Because these people turn on each other. There's no loyalty among crooks, right? So they're going to get rid of him as soon as he goes too far, because that's what they're doing. They're testing. They're just testing everything. What gets a reaction from the wasp nest? What can we get away with, right? So they'll get rid of him. They'll deport him, arrest him, all the things. He'll be gone. And then 45 can be 25th Amendment in the sense that they'll say, oh my gosh, he's just lost his marbles. He's experiencing some mental decline. Don't we feel sorry for him? You know what I mean? And they'll shuffle him off. That's one thing. Or he could cross over to the great McDonald's in the sky. But that's kind of how I see him exiting. I don't see him. There's one tiny, tiny timeline where he gets arrested. Because everybody has free will. There's one tiny timeline where he gets arrested, but it's very tiny. And by that time, things will be 10 alarm dumpster fire. Okay, so the person we have to worry about is Vance, because Vance is saying right now on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, he's saying things that are literally untruthful, that are lies. He's saying that this is what Vance is saying right now. He's saying if a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. He said a judge cannot tell a general how to conduct a military operation. That would be illegal. This is Vance. He's telling us what they're planning to do in advance. He's testing. These are tests to see how Americans are going to react. Are they asleep? Who's gonna come at me? And can I deal with them? The other thing he said, if a judge, look at all these attacks on judges. If a judge tried to command the attorney in general in how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's illegal. These are not true. None of this is true. Third thing, judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. Judges are not allowed to control the president. This is the person we have to worry about. It's not 45 and Musk. Vance is the one pulling the strings. And the one pulling Vance's strings is Peter Thiel. Okay? So they're telling you right now, we think we have universal authoritarian power. And they're lying to the American people and to everybody. Okay? I see EM going. I see 45 going. I see Vance going. I don't know how Vance goes, but I see him going because I think that in the end, they're just dumb enough to smack the wasp nest with the 2x4 and wake up all the wasp, and then they're gone. They're gone. So that's kind of what I see. I don't think this is going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen in stages. Okay. So like, I think Musk is going to be first, but him and 45 are kind of changing spots in the front of the race for who's going to be out first. I think this could happen by June. March is bad for 45. The Ides of March, I keep hearing et tu, Brutus. I keep seeing 45 as Caesar. Brutus betrayed Caesar. I think March is really bad for 45. But you know what? He escapes the worst possible thing. So we'll see. But I don't see this administration having 4 years. I don't see it. And it basically, if we don't deal with this within 18 months, we will be a dictatorship. So all of this is going to happen pretty quickly. I feel like by the end of the year, I honestly think by summer, by August, we could have either muzzled, like they're showing me when you muzzle, like not a dog, but like you muzzle a wild animal. We're either going to muzzle them so that we can operate around them. Like, we'll make you a figurehead. You can be a figurehead, but the other co-equal branches are going to stand up to you. Okay, so if he stays in office through the end of the year, he's muzzled. Or if Vance gets in, he's muzzled. Okay, because I don't see the end of the year us being in some kind of crisis. I don't see it. He could be there, but he's muzzled. Tracy said, what is EM looking for in the Treasury? There's a few different things that EM is looking for in the Treasury. He's looking for, the guides are saying he's looking for money. So to pass their agenda, which is to give rich people an even bigger tax break, if you can believe that, that's their agenda. They need to find some money. They need to, because their people that VOTED'd for them believe that they're going to lower the debt. So if they raise it, then it's going to smack the wasp nest. So he's looking for money. He's looking for ways. He's trying to say, this group over here, I can take their money by cutting off their services. Again, I don't know. I feel like he's going to be attacking blind, like maybe there's some kind of grants for blind people or service dogs. I don't know. Or maybe it's service dogs. I don't know what it is. But, even $1 million, he's going to start taking this money. Now, he can't do this legally. He can't do any of this legally. I've already said it, I think. I see him being arrested, investigated, and deported. And he's going to be doing all the dirty work for Vance. 45 and EM are useful idiots. They're going to be doing all the dirty work for Vance. And they're going to be arrested. They're the ones that are going to take the fall. And then Vance is going to walk out like he's got nothing to do with it. Okay. So the other thing that he's doing with the Treasury. Oh, right. He also wants to convert us to the Bitcoin. He wants to take us off of the dollar standard and make us a Bitcoin standard. And he thinks by owning, none of these people understand what a democracy is. So they don't understand that they can't kill it, that it's living, and it's living in millions and millions and millions of people. You can't kill democracy. It's alive. It's us. We are democracy. But anyway, so he's in the Treasury Department because he thinks that if he has the keys to the Treasury, he has the keys to the whole country, and he thinks that he is now the king. He really does. When you go into his energy, he's like, I'm the king. I have everything. I own everything. My goons are controlling everything. And he thinks his fantasy is to turn the lights out on America, is to stop all the payments so that he can say, I did that. I'm the king. Now you have to answer to me. Even 45 has to answer to me because I'm the only one that knows the code. I'm the only one that my goons control everything. I have taken over the United States of America. That's what this man thinks. There are literally people in mental institutions that think the same thing. So anyway, it's not going to work because if he turned off the money to everything, well, military's not getting paid. Police, nobody's getting paid. Nobody. It's not the flex he thinks it is. He would be arrested tomorrow. He would be arrested within an hour of doing that. I have no doubt in my mind. So it's also a flex. He's like, look at me, right? It's a flex. The thing the guides keep showing me is car keys. Somebody gets your extra set of car keys. Now your car is behind a wall, but they got your car keys. And they stand outside rattling your car keys going, I got your keys. And you're like, I don't care. You know what I mean? That's kind of how they feel about Musk. He's got the keys to the kingdom, but he can't do anything with them. He won't be allowed to do anything with them. Even though him and 3 teenagers have got control of things, you still have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of government employees that can sabotage their efforts. That's not going to go well. You really, they don't have the control they think they do. And then lastly, he's also getting the data. So he's getting all of our data. Everybody's worried about him getting our data. I'm not worried about him getting our data. I already did a video months ago when they hacked into Social Security. And I told you guys, the guide said that we're all going to be getting new ID numbers. This has already happened. Number one. Number two, every month we get a notice that says, oh, such and such corporation letting you know that your sensitive information has been leaked or attacked or hacked or whatever, and you need to change your password and you might need to monitor your credit. How many times do we get that? All the time. Okay. So Musk having my stuff is no different. The difference is when you hack it, you're hacking, you miss like this, or maybe they get your address but not your phone number, or maybe they get your social but not, they don't have everything because the hacking is kind of not perfect. Musk put up a little USB drive in there and downloaded all our stuff. He's got it all perfectly nice and wrapped up. And guess what? He's going to sell that because that's worth a lot of money to corporations. The same corporations are going to buy it on the black market. Because who is your data important to? People that sell to you. People that want to know you have a mortgage, people that want to know where you live, people that want to know what your buying habits are. That is like gold. People's information is like gold. That's why everybody's stealing it all the time. So he's basically grifting. It's the smash and grab. He's going to go into all these departments, get all the information and sell it to a country. Whatever. So, okay, you know where I live. So does everybody else. You know what my social security number is. So does everybody else. Get in line. Get in line behind the hacker. They got it last month. You know what I mean? You know how many times I have to get a new credit card because I've been hacked? So, I'm not worried about this. What this is going to do is going to force us to make sure that our government in the future does a better job of protecting us. This is all for us to understand that these things are not working, that it's broken. If you've been driving your car and you've been hearing that noise and you haven't been paying attention until the car breaks down on the side of the road in the middle of a cross-country road trip, you're now in some trouble. You should have listened to those noises, but you didn't. Now you're stuck on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, and you got to wait. You got to fix it, and you got to learn. In the future, I care about my car. I'm going to pay more attention to it. Same analogy for our country, right? Okay, let's move on. I think I told you everything they wanted me to tell you. Wow, this is a great question from the beach to Dallas. Says, will the U.S. ever be trusted by allies again? Yeah, that's a big question. I mean, trust is not the right word. It might be respect. And it also is, it's about time that we don't put any one country on a pedestal. It's about time that we don't put any one person on a pedestal, because that's how we got here, right? So I think going forward, the United States is going to lose a lot of respect. And I don't see us getting it back quickly. I think it's a stain. I think this is a stain on our respectability and our trustworthiness. And I think it will be. And I feel really bad about Canada. I feel like that's really going to be, that's really a problem. Honestly, I think Canada is a very strained relationship with us right now, and I don't blame them. Mexico too. We will be trusted by them, yes, but I think we all need to realize just how precious democracy is, and I think we are a really big lesson for the rest of the world. This is a lesson. They basically Trojan horse snuck in and are holding up inside of our institutions, trying to hold our institutions hostage. but they're not, because the institutions are working. Everything is working. They're just inside, and now they don't know what to do. Because if they stopped everything, everybody would bum rush the building and arrest them. So what do? What can they get away with? Not much. Actually, it turns out not that much. If they do it slowly over the case of years, then they've gotten away with a lot. But they bum rushed. They ran in for the smash and grab, and now they're realizing, well, we're trapped. It's like breaking into a jewelry store, and then the outside is barricaded. Have fun with your jewels. Can't do much with them unless you can get them out and sell them to somebody. They're not having a way of converting this to power, honestly. Norma Del Palin says, very concerned about the suppression and or takeover of the media. We need outlets that will tell us the truth and keep the people informed. This has been going on for a while, Norma. I mean, literally for years. I hate to say, I've been talking about it a lot on my channel. It's done. The media is done. Now we're watching YouTube, where we're watching 20-year-old kids give us the news. That's what's going to happen. I think maybe MSNBC and CNN get through this in some way, but I also see the institutions falling apart. Like I predicted, the media would fall apart and not be trustworthy. And this is where democracy is so beautiful and alive, because when we started seeing that the media was not telling us the truth, we started going looking for the truth somewhere else. So this is why they can't take us over, because we're too big. Number one, we're a big, huge country. Number two, we're very diverse. Number three, we have a republic. So we have all these states that are self-governed. So there's just so many checks and balances written in. Now, the problem is right now, the people that aren't woke up are watching the media and they're getting fed mistruths or lies. When they find out that that's happening, that is it. I mean, the media will be over. They will literally be gone, like shuttered, gone tomorrow. So I know that's a big problem. I agree with you, but it's been a big problem. And it has to break down before we can fix it. You literally have to wait for it to fall apart before you can say, okay, let's take out these pieces that turned out to be wrong. Let's, untrustworthy or bought off, and let's pass some new laws to make better media, more protected media. Everything has to break apart and break down, including Congress. We'll vote people out. We'll bring people in. The machines, the VOTE in the future will be better, will be more protected. It might not be perfect, but it'll be more protected, because it'll be in the best interest of those companies for it to be so, because they don't want a dictatorship either. So they're going to do what they can to protect their machines. So all these things are sort of coming together like magnets, like tick, 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 tick. They're coming together slowly, but they are coming together. Please says, is it safe to fly right now with all the mishaps going on? You're supposed to fly on Thursday. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I mean, I think flying for a lot of people is already stressful. You listen, there's something like 45,000 flights that go every day that are FAA, that are not mom and pop airplanes or corporate jets. 45,000 commercial flights. The odds of you being on one of 45,000 flights is 1 in 45,000. Okay. I don't know what the odds of you being hit by a car are, or you being bitten by a shark, or I'm just saying the odds are in your favor to be okay. All right. I think it is safe to fly right now. I would always say, listen to your intuition, but you can't hear your intuition if your brain is reading the news and your brain is saying, I'm not safe, I'm not safe, I'm not safe. Your intuition is not going to be able to get a word in edgewise. So take some deep breaths. And I guess in the end, we all have to make these decisions for ourselves. But I think that things are not great with governmental agencies. They're not great. And I can see a situation where literally all the planes are grounded. Okay, I can see that. But I don't see a situation where there's so many accidents. I'm not saying there won't be another accident. I'm saying I don't see a situation where there's so many accidents. I think 1 in 45,000 is pretty good odds. I don't know what else to say other than that. If things get bad enough, everybody will stop. Like the airline workers will not get on why would flight attendants and pilots get on planes 4 times a day if it was that unsafe? I think we have to rationalize. I know things feel completely out of control, and I know things feel like we're losing everything and democracy's going downhill. And I know it feels like that, but it's not the case. I want you to really get in your body and think. My lights are on, cars are driving, red lights are going off and on, grocery stores have food. Our life is going on normally. Okay, it's that we're empathic and we feel the energy, which is very unsettled. So we have to check in with reality and say, okay, all these flights are flying, all these boats are going, all these trains are going. It's not falling apart. It's not falling apart. I feel like it is, but it's not in reality. A reality check is needed. Okay. Take really good care of yourself. I know it's hard. I'm sorry you're in that position. Okay, let me address this because there's so much I need to address. Anyway, Cheyenne McKenna says, can we talk about same-sex marriage rights being overturned? Also, how safe will the LGBT plus community be in the foreseeable future? You're worried about my family. I would add to that trans rights. Okay, here's what I have to say, and it's probably the thing that I worry most about, to be honest with you. And for anybody who's not white and male, okay, if you're white and male, you can pass if you're a Democrat. I mean, I can pass to a certain degree, right? But if you are brown or not white, if you're just not white and you are LGBTQ or trans, you guys, you people are the people that they're really going to try to come at. So instead of coming for Social Security, which would go out across a lot of their own maggots, right? I mean, they would literally hit the, proverbial wasp nest with a bat. But what they can do is go for anybody who's liberal or anybody who's those groups that I already mentioned. And how they can go for you is not from the government, but from your local communities. This is why the guides keep saying, please get to know your local communities. Because if the local MAGA calls somebody and says, makes up a lie about you in this kind of environment, you could get hassled. You could get pulled over. You could get harassed. You could get discriminated against, even more so than you already do. So you really need to know who's your friend and who's not in your community. It's super important. And if you're a white person, especially if you're a white man, please keep your head on a swivel and help people. We have to be allies. We have to be allies and help people. We have a lot of power. Okay. Now, same-sex marriage rights be overturned. I think what I saw in the past, and I think it's still true, is that they won't overturn. Wait, maybe they will. Oh, right. Okay. So it's hard for me to describe. I feel like they might overturn it, but states like it was before, Vermont was, I think, one of the first states to honor that. So the states will still honor them, but the federal government may not honor it, meaning same-sex marriage. Now, I think what that could mean is maybe like filing taxes, like there could be things that affect you. I'm not 100% sure they're going to take away that, but it feels like it's very possible. It feels like 80% possible that they could take away that. Now, you guys, they're also coming for interracial marriage. I think if they stay in power, they'll try to do that next year. But I think same-sex marriage, they might try to do this year. And I think they might do it. I hate to say it. The LGBT community, again, community. I'm going to encourage everybody to find a community, find and link together, and don't necessarily put it in your window. I mean, you can put flags out, but depending on where you are, it could draw attention to you, and this could be not the best thing. Okay, so what I would really rather see is an underground group form. Underground. So you text each other, this person is LGBTQ friendly, this person is trans friendly, this person is Black friendly, this person is Hispanic friendly, this person is Jewish friendly. I'm sorry to say that, but even last year I kept getting McCarthy. I did not understand why. I could not figure it out because it was about this year. This is the year where you have the crazy MAGAs that are going to say, yeah, let's go harass this Jewish person. Let's go harass this LGBTQ person. Let's go harass this trans person. And I don't know that you're going to get that much support from your local police department. Okay, so it might be that a better way to deal with this is that 20 people show up in the front yard of that person's house with lawn chairs and a barbecue, and you spend the night out there partying and enjoying each other. And so that way, when somebody pulls up, they realize you got support. And you know, the guides just told me this morning, if you are Hispanic, shop at the Black people's places, whatever it is, restaurants, I don't care. If you're Black, shop at the Asian places, the grocery stores, the restaurants. We have to know who our allies are. And we need to just go in there and look them in the face and just, doesn't even have to be words. I got you. You got me. This is where we are. And if that is scary, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that's scary. I don't see democracy disappearing. I don't see us becoming a dictatorship. I just see us becoming assholes. Okay? If you were alive in the 50s and 60s, you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of people weren't alive in the 60s. They don't know what I'm talking about. So we are going to go through that again because we don't remember it. And we think everything is good. And we think that everybody's treated fairly, but that's not true. So we have to learn the lesson again. So protect each other. Stand up for each other. All it takes is that. If somebody is harassing somebody who's trans, stand up for them. If somebody's harassing somebody who's different than you, stand up for them if you feel safe doing it. If you don't feel safe doing it, wait till the interaction is over and report it to the manager or go to that person and say, I saw that. I'm sorry I didn't feel safe, but I'm telling you that I stayed, that I watched, I did what I could. It means everything. It's humanity. Our lesson is loving each other. And that's loving each other. That's standing up for each other. That if we'll do this, if we really will do this, we'll go through this lesson so much faster because we don't need to learn it. If we stay scared and we stay in our houses and we don't go help our neighbors or go help the person down the street, then they win. That's what they want. That's what that saying is. First they came for this person, but I didn't think it was me. This is what we're talking about right now. I'm not saying there's going to be a hollow, you know what? I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's going to be intimidation. That's what I'm saying. And we don't want that either. We don't want intimidation. We're not putting up with that. We're not going to put up with it. We're going to help each other. We're going to stand up for each other. That's really all I can say about it, I think. Okay, let's move on. Miss DL07 says, do you have any options for dim speaker other than low energy? We can't do anything because they all have the power of King Jeffries, who is sucking up the donors rather than thinking outside of the box for solutions. I will have to tell you that I agree with Miss Deal here. I feel like what I'm hearing is like desperate times call for desperate measures. And it helps to me that I see people like Jasmine Crockett, who just takes no shit, takes no prisoners, just she's standing up for her constituents. She's standing up for me. She's being an ally. That's what I just talked about. And AOC, who's standing up for me. And then you have Jeffries, who is, we have to, moribund. The guides are saying that word again, moribund, which is basically bound up. He's bound up in, we have to do things a certain way. Okay. Because it's always been done this way. And this is how you do it. But again, it's like bringing a butter knife to a firefight. It's not going to work. And the same energy is that AOC takes to Twitter, takes to Instagram. She is doing the thing. Remember when the guides said Democrats need to be show people, they need to be better communicators? That's Jeffries. He's not willing to do it. He was installed by Nancy Pelosi. He's a Nancy Pelosi stan. And I don't think he's got the fire in his belly to do what we need to do. Like Maxwell Frost has fire in his belly. He's a young guy who's like, let's do this, right? You're right, Miss Deal, you're right. We need more high energy because we feel like nobody's fighting for us, right? We feel like no one has got our back. And in a way, it's kind of true because democracy is about the people. We gave our power to Congress. We gave our power away. And now we're like, okay, we got to get our power back. And how do you get your power back? You know what the guides are showing me is MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. MAD became a whole thing, a force to be reckoned with. And they changed the laws. You know, and I didn't even realize this, when I moved to Texas, you could drink and drive. I didn't know you could drink and drive here legally. So think about who they had to fight to change those laws. MAGAs, men who wanted to drink their beer on their way home. A very strong constituency, might I add. Men have money. Men donate money. But yet these women stood up to these men and changed the law. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Jeffries is Jeffries. But we will get together, form communities, form voting blocks, the guides are saying. We will form new groups full of people that are focused, that are ready, that know how to use social media, that will make their lives very unpleasant. We will do that. I'm telling you right now, we're done. We're toast. We are ready to take action. And another way we're going to take action is shareholder protest. They show me this too. Shareholders have a lot of power because corporations by law have to be profitable. Did you even know that? Corporations by law have to be profitable. They have to take every consideration to being profitable. Shareholders have a lot of power. So I see shareholders forming voting blocks and saying, we own a lot of Apple shares and we don't like Musk and we don't want Starlink in our Apple. and showing up to shareholder meetings. Oh, it's about to be on, you guys. These ivory towers, these people who thought it's just the rich white men that get to make all the decisions, they are about to be on notice. And so is Jeffries, and so is anybody who doesn't take action for us, because we're done. We're tired of people paying us lip service. We're tired of people gaslighting us. Yes, we know you're gaslighting us. We're done with that. We're about to put you on notice. So yeah, some options would be AOC, would be Jasmine Crockett, would be any number of people could run for speaker. The problem with the Dems is that it's all about seniority, and it's all about being anointed by the powerful ones. It's all about the powerful ones controlling everything, and this is the energy paradigm that's flipping. They're not going to have the control. It's not only 45 and Musk and Vance, it's everybody who has the power. They're going to flip. They're going to lose their power. And we're going to have a new kind of power happening. Lily Drew says, will American prisoners actually be sent overseas, as T indicated? And I think they will. I 100% think they will, because it's a money. It's money. It costs money. And also it makes him feel so powerful. But I got to tell you, I don't think they're prisoners. I honestly think he's going to try to imprison media. He's going to go too far. I think he might actually pick up a media person from another country. I mean, he's going to do some despot kind of things, and he's going to go too far, and he's going to trigger SCOTUS or Congress. He's just going to go too far, and the people that support him are going to say, no, that was a bridge too far. Even Roberts, even me, Justice Roberts, I can't do that. Right? He's going to go too far, and it's going to trigger this backlash on him. But I do see him trying. He does want to do that. He wants to put people overseas that aren't criminals, that are targets, political targets of his. That's who he wants to put overseas. And I think that's going to be the end of it. I think that's going to be the end of him if he does that. He has a very thin line that he has to walk, believe it or not. I know you guys don't agree, but if he crosses certain lines, no, not all the SCOTUS, but two of them will join the liberals and impeach him. I mean, or whatever it is they're going to do. Last question. Busy Lizzie says, what is the energy around travel to these other countries still allowing Americans in? I do, but I don't see Americans being very welcome in a lot of countries by the end of the year. I mean, our problem is affecting them. It's not just they're looking at us going, my God, what happened to America? It's actually impacting them, and they're mad at us about that. So I think, yes, we can travel to other countries, but I think we might feel unwanted in some countries. And with that, I'm going to end this video. And I just want to remind you, I have that class coming up pretty soon. Please check it out below. Your soul's destiny. Super important to know this information right now. You might be wondering, why am I here? What am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to just be going through hell for no reason? No, you're not going through hell for no reason. You're going through hell for a reason. Find out what it is so you can stop doing it. And check out my online community where you can find people just like you and can speak your truth. Okay, I'll be back with more videos soon. Take really good care of yourself. I'll see you again really soon. For entertainment purposes only.